But the opening day stake is good. 2-year-old fillies, Schuylerville, grade 3, 6 furlongs, 8. 8 out of the 9 fillies that entered in the race are coming off maiden wins. Yeah. So it's challenging, but it's the kind of challenge we'd like to take up.
And they come from 5 different venues, from small to large and different surfaces. Like how will the horses from Woodbine's Tapeta that excelled in the debut handle the dirt and the difference in competition? Horses from Presque Isle Downs, Kentucky. You've got horses from all over matching up in that Schuylerville. It's always fun to talk 2-year-olds at Saratoga, right? I mean, it's like the lifeblood. We're rolling on to next year already in the future. But this Schuylerville Stakes, I was looking at the winners of this race historically. You've got to go back to a Shadow in 2003 until one of these 2-year-old fillies really turned out to be a star. So they are the good early summer 2-year-olds. When we get to the end of the year, the end of the meet, beyond the Schuylerville, when we get into late August and into September, that's when you're going to see the creme de la creme, I think, of the 2-year-olds at Saratoga, obviously, as the meet builds to a crescendo at the end of the season. But the Schuylerville, with a field of 9, includes 3 from trainer Mark Cassie, Jeff. His son Norm won this race last year, so Mark's thinking, we got to keep this thing in the family. We're going to run 33% of the field, and one of the horses that he's running is one called Me and My Shadow, who was a debut winner pretty impressively. She's a slightly built filly. She kind of looks like a foal who kind of grew up in Bambi. Let's take a look at her win last time out up in Woodbine.
Over on the inside, Me and My Shadow being henpecked the entire way. On the outer goes Born Dapper. They turn 2 in front of Cairo Consort. This has been a real battle, and on the outside, Born Dapper really pushing again, but it's still Me and My Shadow in front. Fast and Sexy is there with Cairo Consort. Me and My Shadow breaking away now, and inside the final 16th is going to win Me and My Shadow, drawing off to a pretty impressive final 16th. Wins by 3.5 lengths. Second, Born Dapper. Third, Cairo Consort. And fourth, Fast and Sexy. 57-18.
So as we continue our Saratoga summer setup, Jeff, with that Schuylerville Stakes, Cassie's just 7 for 79 the last 2 years at Saratoga since 2020, over 2020 and 2021. 7 for 79. I saw some of the racing press, talking to him about running 3 in this race. He says it's hard to win at Saratoga. He's got a Hall of Fame career. He's got the plaques in Canada and in the U.S., but there are no gimmies at Saratoga when a guy like Cassie goes 7 for 79 over 2 years, and he knows the numbers. He talked about, how much it is a struggle. That tells you how deep the waters are.
It's tough for sure. And this filly, we mentioned Me and My Shadow, 57 flat, 78 buyer speed figure, last 16th and 5 and 3. I mean, this is a very, very good filly by Violence. And I did read that story, the quotes from Mark Cassie, and the one quote that I wanted to see was, yes, we don't know about the switch from all weather to dirt, but she really has trained on the dirt very, very well. I expected her to run just as well. So that's basically all I want to hear. Now, That doesn't make her a winner, because Wayne's filly, Summer of Promise, we mentioned her, very impressive debut at Churchill. She goes from the rail to the outside, which is going to be fine, just in case she doesn't break all that sharp. She can sit, stalk, and then go on with her. And the rail filly in this race, she's one to watch for down the road. Her name is Just Cindy. She's from the first crop of Justify. I was able to watch her maiden win at Churchill first time out. And what a beautiful mover she is. I mean, she barely picks her feet up off the ground. She's quick action, but with a nice stride. Looks a lot like Justify. And I really do think Just Cindy, among this group, has the best chance to go on. But she drew the rail in this race, so who knows what that dirt in her face is going to affect her. I'm not sure it'll bother that much. I'm really interested. I think there are at least 3 really good fillies in this race, maybe more than that. But Just Cindy, to me, obviously Me and My Shadow, and then Wayne's filly on the outside, Summer Promise. I think they're all going to run well. And what looks to be a stronger than average Schuylerville field for me, anyway. Because a lot of times you mentioned you get these real fast fillies in there, but they're not going to go anywhere eventually. But this group, I think, is pretty